Unit 11. Ethics. Recording 11.1. What is the bank's ethical policy?
Our ethical policy is a clear set of promises to our customers about how we will and won't invest their money. It's important, though, to understand that the promises we make are based on the views of the customers. Firstly, it's worth explaining the development of the policy, which was introduced in 1992 after consultation with our customers. We now consult them regularly to ensure that the investment guidelines we follow continue to reflect their views. We implement the policy by publishing the types of business activities that are of such concern to our customers. They don't want the bank to provide banking services to these types of business. For example, we will not invest in a business involved in the manufacture or transfer of armaments to oppressive regimes. The policy also contains a number of positive statements that commit the bank to do business with customers involved in social or environmentally beneficial activities, such as renewable energy and energy efficiency. To show customers we are keeping our promises, our selection procedure is independently audited. The results are published in our annual report.
Recording 11.2. Is it really the job of business to provide a lead in ethical standards?
Businesses don't operate in isolation. Businesses are part of the wider community through their staff and their suppliers, for example. Business activities will inevitably lead to a series of ecological and social effects. The nature of some industries has huge and very obvious effects on the environment and society, whilst the effect of others, such as the financial services industry, is not always so apparent. The bank chose to base its policy on the concerns of its customers because it is their money that is being used, and they should have a say in how it is used. We also campaign for change on issues that our customers feel strongly about. One of our first campaigns called for a ban on the use of landmines, now banned in 142 countries. Since then, we've campaigned on other issues from third world debt, human rights, fair trade and youth poverty. Customers can get as involved as they want, and because the bank represents them, it means their view is more likely to be heard.
Recording 11.3. Can successful businesses always behave ethically?
We believe they can. In fact, we believe that in the years to come, the only truly successful businesses will be those that achieve a lasting balance between their own interests and those of society and the natural world. Therefore, businesses cannot just have a self-interest, they must play a social role. Our position has enabled us to build trust, develop our brand, and have a positive impact on the bank's bottom line. On the issue of trust, research shows that trust in business has been declining for a number of years, and the general public feel that businesses don't take them seriously. Higher trust creates higher loyalty. First, because customers trust you, they are less likely to look elsewhere in the first place. Second, if you do make a mistake, they are more likely to forgive you.
Recording 11.4.
I'll never forget the trouble we had with that face cream. We launched it and, it was a real winner. I mean, it was going really well.
Great.
When suddenly people started phoning and complaining it was burning their skin.
Burning their skin? You mean like a kind of allergy?
Yeah, it was making red marks on their faces. The newspapers heard about it and wanted to know what we were doing about it.
Typical. They don't exactly help, do they? So what did you do?
We didn't know what to do. You see, we'd tested it for over 6 months and, there'd been no bad reaction to it.
Well, so what was the problem?
Well, we'd invested a lot in the product and the launch. I mean, you know what advertising costs are these days. Then suddenly, the number of complaints doubled in the space of a week or so.
Doubled? Incredible. Did you manage to keep it quiet?
No. Our managing director got more than a bit worried. Said all this was harming the company's image. So we recalled the product and lost a lot of money. Oh, I tell you, the only people with red faces were us. Since then, we've kept away from skincare products.
Recording 11.5.
We've got to do something about it. People are taking too many days off sick. Sick leave increased by 12% last year. I got the figures today. On average, staff took 14 days off sick. That's far too many.
Absolutely, it's really damaging for us. It's affecting the service we give our customers, and it's costing us a lot of money each year. It can't go on.
OK. Well, as I see it, there are several ways we could deal with this. We could get tough and simply say no paid leave at all for the first 3 days someone is sick. Or we could do it another way. Offer staff a bonus at the end of the year if they don't take much sick leave. And there's a third option. We could bring in a doctor and physiotherapist for staff, and free health tests and counselling. They could check up on staff who are taking far too much sick leave, the ones who think it's extra holidays for them.
Let's look at the pros and cons of the first option. No paid leave for the first 3 days staff are sick. On the one hand, I think it will reduce the amount of sick leave because people will lose pay when they're off work. On the other hand, it's very unfair for people who are genuinely sick. You know, if they're suffering from a bad cold or flu, for example. It wouldn't be popular with the staff or with the unions.
Well, let's look at this from another angle. It might be worth using a completely different approach. We could try sending a questionnaire to all staff, asking them to suggest ideas for reducing absenteeism because of sickness. Of course, we'd explain why the present policy isn't working.
Good idea. If we do this, then they're more likely to buy into any new scheme. Yes, it should work well.
Right. So, the best way forward is to sound out staff and get their opinions. A survey will give us all the data we need.
And the next thing to do is to prepare a questionnaire. I take it you want my department to do that?
Yes, if you would. Could you have a draft questionnaire ready by next Monday for our meeting?
Yes, I think we can manage that. I'll let you know when it's ready.
Recording 11.6.
A bit of information now, Nichols, I think you ought to know. Carl often has lunches with Monica Kaminsky, the design manager of Rochester Electronics, our main competitor.
Monica Kaminsky? Really? That's something I didn't know.
Yes, and she often phones him at work. She has long chats with him. I've no idea what they talk about.
Am I reading you right? Are you saying there's something going on between them? You know.
Well, since you ask, you know, Carl got divorced last year. There's a rumour going round Monica's more than just an acquaintance. I thought you might like to know that. Someone saw them together at a cinema last Saturday. It looked as if they...
Thanks, Bob. I've heard enough. I won't be saying anything to Carl about this. It's his business. I trust him to keep his personal and business lives separate.
OK, I won't say anything more then. What are you having for lunch?
Recording 11.7.
I can't believe what you're saying, Carl. I'm really shocked. I thought we had a good relationship. Why on earth do you want us to break up? I don't get it.
Well, we've had some good times together, I know, but...
But?
Well, it's about work, really. I mean, we work for rival companies, and that's a problem. A very big problem, actually.
Oh? What do you mean? Problem?
Think about it. We often talk about things that happen at work. You can't help it, but I think we talk too much about work sometimes, and that's not good.
I don't know. I think we talk about all kinds of things, not just work. That'd be boring.
Yes, but I still feel I talked too much about work in the past.
Ah, I see. You're referring to...
Yeah, the DC-01 can opener. I seem to remember I told you quite a lot about the problems we'd had designing it, and how we solved them. That information could have been very useful to your company, let's face it.
Listen, Carl, are you accusing me of using that information to help us design our can opener? Because if you are, that's so unfair.
I'm not accusing you of anything, but some of my colleagues are sure I leaked information to you. They don't think I'm trustworthy, and that's making life very difficult for me.
Sorry, Carl. I can't stop people talking. Should I say gossiping? Anyway, you didn't have to sign a confidentiality agreement, so what are you worrying about?
No, I didn't, but I don't want to get a reputation. I think we need to separate for a while. At least until people have forgotten about the DC-01 can opener.
I see. I'm disappointed with you, Carl. I get the feeling you don't trust me anymore. I didn't think you were such a weak person, so easily influenced by people. Maybe you're right. Maybe we should go our own ways for a while.